big news this morning is I'm thinking of changing my name or using my name in its entirety. And I've had these thoughts, Andy, since speaking with Phil Neville yesterday.
So did you get the name from Twitter?
No, I as you know, and not many people do for some time, I have been a doctor of letters. Do you see now? Why do we act like that? I was very proud to accept an honorary degree bestowed upon me by Coventry University for services to broadcasting. So I officially should be Dr. Richard Keys.
Yeah, well, unlucky. Sorry.
So I thought that might just...
So when we're captioning you now, you want Dr. Richard Keys?
Well, do you think it would add gravitas?
No. No. But congratulations, by the way, well done.
You see,
it's a nice honour.
I am proud of that because I'm
nice
not
honour.
a great one for TV awards. I think that what tends to happen with TV awards, Andy, it's a question of a committee sitting down and saying whose turn now. And I realised that many years ago when I was hosting such an event, and we were running through in the rehearsal, and two of the awards they'd edited tape into the wrong place. So first and second were in the wrong order. And when I pointed this out, they went, "I'll just switch them around. We haven't got time to edit now." So you see, that's how vacuous those awards often are.
And one became second.
Yes,
excellent.
Yes,
Yeah.
And the award that Sky were due to pick up that night, they'd got bad information. I obviously, as the host, was able to call in and say, "Listen, I think we've got the wrong people here tonight." So the whole table was changed. Different people were invited or told that they were attending, and then we went. That's why I was so sorry to digress, but that's why I was so proud when we got the award at Talk Sport, because we came from nowhere. They didn't want to give it to us, but they had to because we were good. And the second year they didn't give it to us because they felt that they couldn't 2 years in a row. But that was something.
Well done,
to be
congratulations, Dr.
So
Keys.
from Dr. Richard Keys.
Yeah, Dr. Keys.
Good morning to you and welcome back to the Grey Lounge.
And just plain Andy Gray, welcome back to the Grey Lounge.
Big day, because by the time this programme goes out, the Premier League will have once again kicked a decision into the long grass about whether we start or when we start.
Now, I felt sure that tomorrow morning, Richard, we would be debating the opening day of the season and the final day of the season. Sadly, they now tell us it's not today. It's a week on Thursday. So, great
Thoughts
news.
with Dean Smith, the Villa manager, whose dad died yesterday,
Absolutely.
age 79, Ron, as a result of coronavirus. So that's not news we wanted whilst discussing return to football. So thoughts and prayers, Dino, with you and your family. Jose Mourinho's been outlining Tottenham's transfer plans. He says going forward now it's going to be loans by and large and free transfers. He says that the game is facing a serious wake-up call. Well, that's only what I keep saying this, it's what we've been saying here, Andy. The bubble's burst.
Wait and see.
The bubble's burst.
Wait and see.
Manchester United activate
I know, we're going back
a
there,
£140 million loan facility.
I know.
Really?
I know.
In this climate?
Which means they're going to be, when you say loans for Tottenham, this is what I'm saying, Richard, that's fine. Tottenham may have that and lots of other clubs will be thinking exactly the same. But all of a sudden we come out of this and Manchester United are spending over 100 million on players.
Well,
they're going to be left behind.
That's when there should be financial fair play. After everything that everybody's been through, I think that's obscene, to be honest with you.
It's not the right time to be announcing
I did say
that.
to you, I didn't think Graham Jones had been sacked by Luton for financial reasons. The proof is that they reappointed Nathan Jones yesterday, the manager who was previously in charge and had an absolute shocker whilst in charge at Stoke.
Okay.
Nice piece in the Mail today. Jimmy Greaves.
Yes.
And I'm old enough to remember it, 1970, when he went rallying in his Ford Mexico. The reason I pointed out, Andy, is not the story, which is terrific if you get time to read, but the picture. There he is sat on the front of his Mexico.
Smoking.
With a cigarette.
Yeah, never be seen now.
If we saw a modern day footballer doing that, what would we say?
Oh, it would be horrified, everybody would, wouldn't they? Horrified. But surely some modern day footballers do smoke.
I'm certainly
They must
all,
do.
but all,
No.
most.
No, not most. No, most
Yes,
don't
I mean
smoke.
some.
But
then
some
you've got
must smoke,
Then
yeah?
you've got Penfold, Sarri.
Oh,
at
Juventus.
It never gives up, does he?
No.
Brian Reid, football's return is perfect distraction for hypocritical Tories. This from the Mirror, of course, I should point that out. But you don't have to go to Specsavers to spot it. It's a very humorous piece, very good. Troy Deeney, really? Is this the level we're at? Troy's saying that trolls have said they wanted his baby to catch COVID-19 because of his insistence. He wants the game safe before he goes back.
Sadly, social media is full of people like that.
honestly.
I know.
Back
Well, the
page
thing
of the
is,
Mirror again.
Troy's intelligent enough to just ignore that.
Well, he has said, I'm back. You know, he wants to go back now. But it's lost for words sometimes how to react to those stories. One of the things the Premier League will be discussing is whether we use 5 substitutes.
I think we will.
The word integrity comes to mind, Andy.
I think they will.
We weren't before we broke, so why are we now? A few home comforts on the Bundesliga. Latest statistics of 27 matches. Just 5 have been won by the home side, compared with 12 away wins. 49 goals have been scored by teams away from home, compared with only 35 to those teams playing at home.
Let's play away from home.
Home advantage has
null and void.
The Japanese are testing an app that broadcasts fan reactions in the stadium.
They'll try.
And this one I still don't get. Clubs preparing for a clash over a £340 million TV rebate to domestic broadcasters in the UK. I thought that's why we were playing again. So that,
you tell me, you know more about this, the intricacies of the deals. Surely if football fulfills its obligation, i.e. I guess what would Sky have, 92 games, 100 games a year? Something like that. Yeah. So as long as that's fulfilled and you get the games regardless if there's a crowd there or
more,
not.
I think
does it say in that contract, all these games must have a crowd?
Liverpool are one of the clubs saying, hold on. And quite right, they would have nothing but my support. I think that's...
No, you don't get a rebate if you get the games. No. Of course you don't.
No, N'Golo Kante is still concerned. He says he wants more assurances before he starts training again. I think that is fine. Okay, so our guest today, Andrew, a goal scorer par excellence.
Agreed.
Whose career started, and the reason I started talking about my name at the top of the show is because his career started, well, his big move started in a little bit of confusion.
Did it?
When he took a call from Kevin Keegan, trying to persuade him to leave Bristol City and go to Newcastle United. Yes. And King Kev said, "Hi, Adrian, is that you?"
Is it Adrian?
It is, of course. Andrew, that's his real name, trade name.
Adrian, how are you, Adrian? How are you doing?
Yeah. Very, very good to be fair.
Good to see you, Coley. If you don't mind, we'll be that familiar during the course of this interview. But that's a true story, is it not?
Yeah, it certainly is. To be fair, Kevin threw me off at the time. And I did ask him if he had the right number. And he assured me he did have the right number, just the wrong name.
And I'm guessing it didn't take you very long to make your mind up when eventually you told him.
Well, was there not a delay, Coley, because you were doing your washing? Were you not going to the laundrette and said, "I'll call back"?
Yeah, there was a delay. Yeah, I had to complete my washing. He wanted me to go up on that evening. I decided I couldn't make it that evening because my washing was not complete.
That comes first.
The morning after. I'm just a domestic guy.
Hey, you and me both, Andy. I do that a lot. In fact, I'm doing my washing after the show today. So
that's 3 of us. Well, it was a slow start, and Andy, to what turned out to be a glorious period, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't complain. I've got to take my hat off to Kevin. He spent a hell of a lot of money on me then. I was unheard of. He took a gamble, paying 1.75 million for me, and I played in a real good team. Yeah, he said to me he needed me to get them up, but for me, they was already up. I was fortunate to go in there and get the goals that I got, but like I said, the team was a real good team.
How good was Beardsley?
For me personally, he was one of the best players I've ever played with. There's all this talk about in between the lines and all this kind of stuff now. Peter was doing that many, many years ago. And I thought he was a fantastic player, a player that I learned a hell of a lot of.
It didn't end particularly well. Are you prepared to share that story with us and why subsequently you left Newcastle United?
Why do you say it didn't end particularly well?
Well, I thought there was a little fallout, was there not, down at Selden Park?
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think you know me. I'm always falling out with people.
His headphones gone.
Falling out with people. It's just like my headphones falling out. There was for me personally, it wasn't a falling out. Kevin asked me a question. I gave him an answer. the way he answered me, I didn't like it. So basically, I made my mind up there and then. Okay, not a problem to me. I'll do what I want to do. And I left the training camp. And he wasn't very happy. Neither was I. Such is life.
Have you always been outspoken, Andy, from a young age? I mean, were you always convinced of what you believed?
Well, I think George Graham would probably say yes as well.
That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking. When did it start?
I'm going to be honest. I've always been outspoken. I think the way people look at, which I am, I'm very quiet. Mm-hmm. I'm very quiet, and I only speak out when I feel like people are taking the mick out of me, or people are mugging me off. And if that's the way I feel, you will get what you need to get from me. And if it escalates after that, I haven't got a problem with it. But I do accept a lot. I do accept a lot before I actually say anything.
But isn't that what made you, Coley? If you didn't have that attitude, if you hadn't had that inbuilt desire to fight, you would never have got to the top, surely.
I'll agree 100%. I remember when I was a kid, my mum always used to say to me, "Look, speak your mind." And I'd say, "Oh, Ma," she said, "No, if you got a problem, whatever it is, get it off your chest." And that's what I did. When I was that age, I was really, really bad. I would always speak my mind. And then I got to a stage where I wouldn't do it as much. And I realised I couldn't do that. And then I started speaking my mind again. And I've upset a few people along the way. But I'll be honest, I'll apologise to anyone that I upset, because it wasn't personal. Never personal.
Was there any time ever, let's say with Kevin, when you've got these big names, you've got these huge names, Kevin, Sir Alex Ferguson, was there ever any time you bit your tongue and wish you hadn't now?
No.
Good.
Definitely not.
One you missed out
with
Andrew.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Coley, carry on. With Kevin, go on.
With Kevin, no. With Sir Alex, no. To be fair, I like the challenge of playing with Sir Alex. No, you could have an argument, disagreement with him. He'd have a row with you, and then it's forgotten. And that's what I did enjoy. I didn't enjoy people trying to tear into you. And then you have a go back and they try and say to you, "Oh, you're not in the squad, I'm dropping you," or what for having an argument. Well, I mean, look, we're not mute. We're all grown adults. At times we're going to lose our tempers and have a go at each other.
The one name that Andy missed off the list, our Andy, that's why I think we'll call you Coley, if you don't mind, there's less confusion. How was your time with Graham Souness?
For me, that was interesting. That was very, very interesting. I've got to be honest now, and I've got to say, Graham with me now is fantastic. He's been absolutely brilliant. We spoke a few times, and I look at him now and say to myself, wow, what he is now to what he was as a manager, I take my hat off to him. When he was a manager, I've got to be honest, Graham never bothered me. Challenging me and saying his obscenities or whatever you want. Graham, I loved it because ultimately, Graham, you can't challenge me like that, because that's the way I was brought up. So, if you're going to challenge me, I will challenge you. And that's the relationship ended up being like. But like I said, now, totally different, man.
Well, you've had enough experiences of late, Andy, to consider much, not least because you're in lockdown at the moment. But let's not stray too far from the career for the time being. Listen, let me take you back to the time you were at your peak, okay? You and Yorkie. If I've got 7.5 million, which one of the two of you am I going to buy? Be honest. Which one do I want?
It depends what you want.
Go on.
That's the way I look at it. It depends what you want. Depends what you're looking for from your centre forward.
That's fair.
I think with me and Dwight, everyone knows we're polar opposites as players, individuals, but we get on perfect. And the way he played, he was ideal for me, and I believe I was ideal for him. So he'll get your goals. He'll bring people into the game. His football brain was fantastic. On the other side, I've always been an individual who wants teams running behind, because I've always said the goal never moves. So when I watch centre forward now, all in front, it's a nonsense. I mean, if I'm playing, first thing I'm saying, I'm running in behind you. If you fancy that game on today, if you don't, I'll get myself a hat trick.
Yeah. Well, you, Andrew, were you more than a goal scorer? You talk about different players, and I've always heard it levelled against you that Coley, yeah, great player, great goal scorer. But were you more than that? You talked about Dwight being a more of an all-round footballer. But were you very much aware of the team ethic as well on a football pitch?
Yeah, very, very much. I think when I moved to Manchester United, it wasn't about me scoring goals. Kid always said it to me when I first joined, and he said to me, if you think scoring 41 goals at Man United is good enough, not here it won't be. And I looked at Kiddo and say, come on, mate, you having a laugh? No? But then I realised, and I realised after a couple of years, scoring goals at this football club's not going to be good enough. There's so many other things I have to bring into my game. And I genuinely believe that after my time at Manchester United, come to the latter part of my career, I proved that. And if you look at my assist records throughout my career and all those kind of things, I've already proved that I wasn't just about scoring goals. You know, I could get involved in general play, and I could do all the things that I believe in, but like you touched on there, and I've never given the credit for.
Do you think, I've never seen two work like you and Yorkie did on a football pitch. I mean, I played with Andy a number of times, and the word greedy.
Hold on, Andra, think about it. No. Come on.
The word assist does not exist. Greedy does.
No, I'm a team player.
Shocking, Coley, honestly. But do you think if the goals you gave up, would you have more, or have you got to the total you did because, you see where I'm going with this, you played Yorkie in at times probably you shouldn't have done, but he did too. Was there a balance, or should you have had more?
No, it was a great balance. I've always been a team player, and for me, individual honours mean nothing. I've got to be brutally honest. You know, I finished with a golden boot, but my team's finished third, and you know, and that's why I look at it. So when people talk about me about penalties, why do you never take penalties? Because I had the confidence that I could score in open play. I always believed that I could score in open play. But people said to me, Cole, you know, if you're taking penalties, it could have been another, I don't know, 40 goals or whatever it is. I said, I'm not fast, because I look at myself as a centre forward who can score goals in open play. Penalties, I could possibly get another 40 goals. That takes me to 200 and odd. But it's not about me. It's about my team and what my team end up achieving at the end of the season.
Could you have played in this era? You talked about centre forwards coming off, everything being played in front of them, nothing over the top. How much would that have frustrated you and changed your game?
I don't think it would have changed my game, because I'd have continued to do the same thing. So if you look at most of the defenders now, they get up the pitch and they want to stay up the pitch. If you look at them, no one ever gets tested running in behind, because no one doesn't fancy it. But once a team does, all of a sudden that defensive team starts to struggle a little bit. So could I play one up front now? Yeah. Because for me personally, it's about personnel. If you've got the right players, you could play in whatever system it is.
Agreed. I mean, I think there is a player. I mean, you only have to look at players like Jamie Vardy with his explosive pace that he uses to get in behind. I think there's definitely a function for Andy. I think he would have been an absolute wow this time. But listen, he played in this era, didn't he? He is part of the Premier League history, this boy. But you were like me, Andrew. I never liked penalties either. I tell you what, I took about 4 in my life. Didn't fancy them.
I still don't get that for a centre forward. I've said it to you many times.
I know he has.
I mean,
well, you'd have got more than Shearer then if you'd have taken penalties, wouldn't you?
The difference between Coley's goal scoring record in the Premier League and Alan's is the penalties that Alan took. Now, Alan will argue there's 23 more that he scored in the First Division.
That's true.
And he would be right. But nevertheless, that's simply the difference, Coley. Penalties.
Yeah, of course it is. Like I said, I'm not going to get embroiled in this nonsense, because it forever goes on. You know, there's some comments the other day. I didn't even make in the top 10 of Premier League strikers, which I thought was embarrassing. You know, but I looked at, I had to have a chuckle at and said to myself, hold up, for what I've achieved in my career, for the goals I've scored in my career, I've got 1 penalty, and then out of the top 10 strikers in the Premier League, chosen by a certain panel, I couldn't get in it. And then when I did get in it, I was at number 10. I have to laugh at myself.
That's a nonsense.
I said to myself, wow, that's some going.
That is a nonsense.
I hadn't heard that, but I would share your humour.
Yeah, I would share your annoyance, Sandra, definitely.
Yeah, no question. Coley, did you leave Manchester United too soon?
Yeah, definitely.
Go on, why Coley? Why did you leave?
Now, why? I was desperate. I was desperate to get into the World Cup squad, and Sir Alex had changed the system at Man United. He wanted to play Rude up front, Wan Justin behind, and I believed that I wasn't going to get enough games to try and get myself into the World Cup squad, which I genuinely believe I was more than good enough to play international level. I was more than good enough to go to the World Cup, and I said to myself, right, I'm going to have to play as many games as possible and try and get as many goals as possible. So I really forced Sir Alex Ferguson's hand on selling me, because I went to see him numerous times and he kept saying to me, no, not a chance, I'm not selling you. As far as I'm concerned, you can stay as long as you like. I think I had like 3 years left on my contract, and he kept saying, no, why am I going to sell you? I know you're going to score goals, you're going to get games and that. But my mentality was, if I feel I'm not giving you anything, I feel like I'm stealing a living. And I couldn't get out of that mentality. And I just want to play as many games as possible. I was only 30 as well, and I want to play as many games as possible. So in the end, the manager sold me to Blackburn. It didn't work out me getting the World Cup either.
No, which is a shame. But again, there's a theme here, which is that you've scrapped and battled all of your life. Listen, we rang you to have a chuckle and cheer you up, but we can't leave you without inquiring as to your health. How are you, and how difficult a time has this been?
Yeah, you know what? It's been really hard. I think this week's been tough, because last week I had my daughter. My daughter, she has to stay indoors as well, isolated. So we had a great week together. And then it's like back to this week, being back to being on my own for my 9th week. So it's been tough this week. So it's a case of like getting my head down, waiting for them to make a decision on people with my kind of illness, and see when I can finally get outdoors properly.
Have you not? So what you Andrew? So in the 9-10 weeks really since lockdown, you've hardly been outside. Is that what you're saying?
Hardly been outside. If I do, I try to do it late at night, go for a walk or whatever, or first thing in the morning, go for a walk. So I've even brought myself a bike now, and I go out late at night for a ride on my bike, because I mean, once you're indoors for so long, you start seeing the four walls coming in.
You do.
It gets a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Listen, knowing what you do now and understanding how fragile life is, would Andy Cole, footballer, be going back to work in these circumstances or not?
No, I don't believe I would. If I'm thinking about all the people that have passed away due to this illness, if I'm thinking about my children, no, because money cannot change anything. Once a life is gone, that money cannot bring that life back. So no, for me personally, definitely not. No.
So you understand Troy Deeney, N'Golo Kante and others who have got serious reservations right now?
150%, especially Troy, having a young child, was it 5 months?
5 months,
and then people are questioning him and turn around saying, oh, but look at all the money he gets paid. But I'm in that position now. I mean, I got paid a little bit of money. And what I would change now, if I could have 2 kidneys and be healthy as hell and give you all the money in the world, I'll do that right now.
Yeah, I bet you would.
So I understand where he's coming from, totally.
Andrew, Adrian, Andra, Coley.
Call the goal.
It's been.
I like Adrian. I think we might use Adrian from now on.
What a way to start. Hello, Adrian.
Hello, Adrian.
Who? Coley, thank you very much for your time. We can see you smiling. That was the idea. I'm chuffed a bit you joined us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrew. Listen, as
Thanks
we say, you stay safe, Coley.
Yeah, look after yourself. And when it all settles, come back and see us again. We always enjoy your company.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will do. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrew.
Guys.
Thanks, Coley. What a start.
Cheers.
Yeah, great.
I said to you I've occasionally fallen out with people myself, but
you have.
I hope for the same reasons, that you just want what's right and the best.
Well, listen.
And without that, he would not have been the best. And by the way, I don't know who was on that panel he referred to, but I can't think it was any football people. Because if he doesn't make the top 10 of Premier League strikers, then I have no idea.
When he hasn't taken a penalty,
no.
And he's got 200 and odd goals.
Sorry.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But listen, I think what happens as well, through time, people just get fancy names and they think, oh, he should be in it, because he did quite well there. Yeah. But have a look at the goals. Have a look at the amount.
I've really enjoyed that, and I wish Coley all the very best, because he's got his own unique.
And what I liked
problems.
about Coley there even more than it, and that's something I've always said to you.
What?
When you said, did you leave Manchester United too early? And he said, yes. Why did he leave?
He wanted to play.
Correct. And I've always said to you, I don't understand the modern day footballer who's happy to sit on his backside.
And let's not forget, went to
earn
Blackburn,
his money.
scored the winning goal in the League Cup final for Graham Souness.
Exactly. So I don't get that. I love that he said that I wanted to play, because that's my thoughts, that's my philosophy. Play as long as you can, because when it's over, you don't have to miss it.
We will be in the company of another legend tomorrow. I use the word advisedly. Another. Voted Chelsea's best ever. At 29, should have been washed up. Went on to have the best 10 years of his career.
Yes.
Very much looking forward to spending time with Gianfranco Zola.
Yeah.
In the meantime, stay safe, please. You'll find us in this place on beIN Sports, wherever you are in the world, and international viewers, it's the same as it has been for you. YouTube.
Correct.
Well,
stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.
But you already said it.
No, that's how we leave you.
All right, stay safe.